Here today. We got this straight. I love it. We are live here on the Get Up Girl podcast. This is our Two Chicks and a Mic. So, with your gal, Joanna Vargas, I'm your host, and I am here with Salome Valdez for Two Chicks and a Mic. We're here every month. She and I talk about what is on our hearts, what's going on in our world. So, Salome, welcome back and tell everybody what we're going to be talking about today because this was your idea.
Oh, okay. So we've talked about this topic before, but now there's a movie about the topic.
Mhm.
And the movie is called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's new up and upcoming. It's becoming very popular, and I really hope everyone gets to watch it in the theaters, especially. So what I would like to talk about and bring back a topic that we've talked about before is about you not branding yourself as to one thing. Oh, I'm a bitch and that's who I am for eternity. That's not it. We can be everything, everywhere, and all at once.
Mhm.
So, oh, yeah, such a great movie. Uh, yeah, Joanna. So, if you'd like to go on there and talk about what actually I would like to know. Have you watched the trailer or what? Because I know you said you were gonna watch it. So, what made you want to watch it?
One thing about movies for myself or all around, I love surprises. I really, really enjoy love surprises, and I do not enjoy watching trailers for movies. I
Mm,
purposefully do not watch trailers because I like to be surprised. And
okay.
it's so funny when I go to the beginning of a movie and they show the 8-minute previews, I'm like this, oh, I don't want to watch them because I like being surprised. So to answer your question, I have no idea what this movie's about. All I received was a recommendation from somebody. And he told
Mm.
Patrick, my boyfriend, partner, he's like, you have to see this movie. OMG, it's the best. So he and I are like, okay. So we just bought tickets and we both know nothing about it. So the cool thing is that you just an hour ago told me about this and you're like, let's talk about it. I'm like, how divine, how freaking cool is that? That we're going to talk about something that I have not watched yet. And so talking about that movie, but also the premise, the idea, the knowing, the awareness that nobody is ever one thing. I'm going to repeat that. None of us, nobody is ever only one thing. Think about it this way. Let's say I'm talking to Salome, I'm talking to you, and I'm describing Susie Smith to you. And I'm like, Susie, she's so nice. She's so kind. She is the greatest person. Now, Salome, you will now put her in a box of being kind, of being sweet, of being all those adjectives.
Mhm,
And so what happens is we put people in these boxes and we cut off our awareness.
mhm,
Because here's the thing, Susie Smith is not always just kind or always just nice. Now, that might be her default. And when we are fully aware and we are fully conscious, we will not be blindsided when Susie Smith chooses something different. Let's all think about something in the past where somebody has hurt us, somebody has wronged us, somebody has surprised us. And that's all it really means. It just means that they surprised us.
mhm.
That's it. It doesn't mean that they said something mean. It doesn't mean that they did something wrong to us. All it means is that they surprised us in a way that we were not aware to. So
Mm.
when we're unaware, when we say somebody is always nice and always my best friend and always on my side, and then they choose not to be on your side, that's when we get hurt. That's when we have those moments of, I can't believe she said that. I can't believe he just did that to me. And so that's my big thing of when I meet people and not even just meeting people, Salome, let's say, for example, I sign up for a class. This Saturday, I sign up for a class and I'm going to take a workshop on ABC. And as soon as we do that, we all create expectations and projections of what we're going to receive from that class. I want to get this. I better get my money's worth. We already create that. And so, what if we just have awareness and we show up to the class and we can receive all of it? So, for example, Salome, let's say I show up to the class and I have zero expectations, zero projections, and the class itself is horrible. Let's just say the facilitator sucks. I mean, it's just not good. They start late. It's just a mess. However, what if I sign up for that class and I sit next to the love of my life and I meet the love of my life? Now that's awareness. It has nothing to do with the class itself. But what if the awareness is I got to be at this class because I'm going to meet somebody that's going to change my life? And so it's the same thing when you sign up for a class, when you meet somebody, you put them in a box, you create expectations, we create projections. This is how it's supposed to be. And then when it's not, that's when we leave the class and go, that sucks. What a waste of money. I want a refund, etc. Because we put our blinders on and we are unwilling to receive all of it. What if there were other things that you could have received? What if you had the pings 30 days later from that class? Like Salome, have you ever taken a class and you're like, I didn't really receive anything. But like a year later, you're like, oh, I get it now. Or, oh, that was good. But at that moment, you're like, yeah, that was an okay class. We still keep receiving from all of life.
I agree 100%. I'm a movie person, so even when I watch movies from back in the day and I watch them now, totally different perspective.
Right?
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Oh,
didn't get that before, but now I get it. Or parts that I didn't cry before on. Now I'm crying because it's totally relatable, or it's something different that I learned or explored. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I do want to go back to I want to go back to freedom. And I think of it like this: for so many years, when I put me in a box, I
Mhm.
put other people in boxes and I kept getting hurt because I was so unconscious to what they were choosing. I was so unconscious to what I was choosing. And I would defend to the death if anyone called me a bitch, if anybody called me controlling, if anybody called me, um, like, what's another thing I'm trying to think of? If anybody said, like, gosh, Joanna, you are so particular, it could, I mean, it was so tiny. I believed that I had to show anger, Salome. I had this projection that in order to be a good person, in order to be a strong boss, in order to be a strong woman, I have to show anger towards that. Because if I don't show anger, then that means that I'm weak, or that means that I'm not standing up for myself, or that it means that I am not as a good as a leader, because a true leader will show anger. And, and I'm like, that is so interesting that I had this expectation that if somebody says this, I have to show anger. And I'm like, now, if somebody were to call me controlling, I'll laugh and I go, yeah, you know what? I am controlling
Right.
because I am controlling and I'm not controlling. And I can flip flop and you can flip flop and we all can flip flop every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds. It doesn't have to be like I'm controlling today and tomorrow I'm not controlling. No, what if you're actually controlling 10 seconds and then in 5 seconds you're not controlling? And then for 10 seconds you are and you're going back and forth. Now, I totally get it. We call that crazy. But what if we're all of it?
Okay. Yes. That personality wise and also life choice wise. For example, I'm like this because my past was like this. So
Mm.
already putting a label on yourself because you grew up this way or something happened in your past. So now you're saying, I'm doing this because my past was like this. Where in so many versions of yourself, again, in other universes. Oh, I'm so excited for you to watch the movie. So, um, what choice can you make in your life so that you don't have to continue to tell that story from your past and say, I'm like this because of that, because of this. Mm,
What if we just choose because we choose?
right.
It's just a choice.
Hmm.
What 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 we tend to do is we will tell the becauses.
Mhm.
Pretty much conversations are all becauses. You have a conversation with somebody and it's pretty much here this happened because. Like that's what conversations are. If you really think about it, they're everybody's stories. They're everybody's becauses. Here's my
Mhm.
because. What's your because? And my because is this. I mean, you may not say it like that in those words, but that's what you're energetically doing. You're telling everybody your stuff. And I wonder if we can have conversations of possibilities
Yes.
instead of the becauses. Here's the story, here's the because, here's the why, here's the reasons and justifications.
Yes, Joanna, I love that you said possibility because that was something else that I was going to bring up. How some people feel like they have limited possibilities, or they think they have limited possibilities, and it's not even like that. We grew up sometimes to think, hey, this is it. This is how life is. You're supposed to struggle to get money. You're supposed to struggle to lose weight. You're supposed to not have fun. Boom, 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 right?
Right.
But the possibilities are endless. I mean,
Mhm.
you can have fun doing it all. Who says you cannot? Also, in this movie, what I liked, she says, why do we have rules? Why do we have to go through those rules? Oh, oh my gosh. I absolutely love this movie because when she said that simple sentence, no rules, everything, just the possibilities just opened up. It's very true,
Mhm.
right? Also about strategizing in your life,
Mhm.
you know, and also always thinking like, this is how I'm going to become in my future. Already putting yourself in a position that you're going to become a certain something in the future. You're putting yourself through that already. It hasn't even happened yet. But one little thing like the butterfly effect can change it all. One little thing. I want to be healthier. Great. Tomorrow, what are you going to do about it? There's always tomorrow, right?
We all have choice, and we
Mhm.
have choice every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, you can make another choice. And we conclude that our choices are made for longer.
Mm.
And this is so incredibly intriguing to me because it has gifted me freedom.
Mhm.
Freedom. Because I lived in shackles and I lived in handcuffs for many, many, many years of trying to get it right and trying to not be wrong. That was like the worst thing for me is to be wrong. And that's why I defended. I would defend things because it was like they were telling me I'm wrong. You are wrong, Joanna. And I'm like, I know I can never be wrong. None of us are ever, ever, ever wrong. It's very much like there's no rules because this I haven't seen the movie yet. Like I said it tonight, but it seems very much like it's about consciousness without saying that it's consciousness. And what consciousness is when you receive all of it, everything, and judge nothing. And look at the title, Everything Everywhere. You receive everything and judge nothing. That is true consciousness.
And the fighting with love as well. So everyone thinks, oh, fight, anger, anger, anger. Uh, what is it called? Revenge, whatever. But what if why does fight the word have to be a negative thing also, where it can actually be you're fighting with love as well, and you're gonna see it in the movie. What I mean later on, what I meant by that it's at the end, it's really about you can fight with love and make changes as well with that.
Mhm. Yeah, I was thinking about that podcast that I recorded about the anti hustle
Mhm.
mentality, and everything is very duality, very dual. Either you hustle or you don't hustle. And right now in 2022, I'm very aware that there's so much duality. It's interesting because we're trying to get away from duality, and yet we're so this reality is very dual. You're either Republican or you're Democrat or you're gay or you're straight. I mean, we could go on and on and on and just put the left and right and just keep going. And same thing with the hustle and the anti-hustle. You know, you either hustle or you're in flow. And what if you choose what is required at that moment?
Mhm.
For example, what if you choose fight? Or what if you choose anger? Or what if you choose potency? Or what if you choose love? Or what if you choose? Everything is a choice. And with consciousness, when we're able to not put the blinders on, because when we choose anger and we're unconscious, that's when we get distracted with anger.
Mhm.
That's when it spins. Salome, we all know that, where you just something happened and you go home and you keep thinking about it. I can't believe Salome said that. How did Salome say that? Are you serious? She just said that. Why? How could she say that? I can't believe she said that. And you spin. You all know what I'm talking about. And Salome said really nothing. And you're like, why am I spinning on this? Because we're unconscious and we're spinning. And so you're asking maybe like, okay, Joanna, what can you do? You can ask a question. What is this? What is this? Because what will happen is then I will believe that something is wrong with Salome. Now I have to fight her. Now I have to call her up. Now I have to call up my other girlfriend and talk about Salome. Now I have to talk about Salome to my boyfriend. Now I have to keep telling the story. And it turns into more anger. And what if you just choose potency and choose something different? And I wonder how things can change that way.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, Joy. And I'm like, a lot of things are going through my head of the times in my life that I lost sleep over stuff.
The spin, you had a you spin me round, round, baby, round, round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm being called. I would love to talk about this because I've been immersed in this lately in uh distractions. Okay. Walking around and I ask myself all day long, is this a distraction? Oh yeah. Is this a distraction? Oh yeah. 99.9% of the time, things are distractions. Okay. So the other day, something happened and I just kept spinning on it. Okay. And I kept spinning on it and I kept spinning on it. It wasn't even that big of a deal, Solomon. It was nothing. And you know, when you start to then judge yourself, you're like, why am I even worried about this? There's bigger fish to fry. Totally get this.
Mhm.
When that happens, we are so aware. You are aware. I am aware. Everybody is so aware. Now, knowing that we are aware is completely different, but we are all highly, highly aware as human beings with body and flesh.
Mm.
And this is a great question to ask. Is there a lie here? And 99% of the time there's a lie. That's why your body wants to get your attention to go, there's a lie here. There's a lie here, but you're believing it. And that's why you're going like this, Solomon. You can't sleep, right? Joanna, you can't sleep. So the body is trying to get your attention because we are so highly aware. But we think that it's annoyance. We think it's anger. We think it's actually what we think that we're thinking about, and it's not. The body is going, hey, Joanna, hey, cuckoo. It's not what you're thinking. There's a lie there, and you're believing the lie. Now, for example, let's say I wake up tomorrow and my boyfriend tells me something. He tells me that the sky is blue, and it just bothers me. It really bothers me, and I'm going, why does this bother me? He's just telling me the sky's blue. What's the big deal? And I spin on it. He told me the sky's blue. What's wrong with him? He told me the sky's blue. Look, I'm using a really funny example, but you get what I'm saying. And the question you can ask is there a lie here that I don't see? And say, for example, the lie can be that the sky is purple, but he believes it's blue. Maybe the lie is that he's lying to himself and he's colorblind and he sees black and white. There could be a gazillion different things, but my body is highly aware. I'm picking up on it. And that's why I spin on the dumbest things. And then I'm going, why does this bother me? So this is really different, but I wanted to bring this in because it saves me. It saves me when I'm spinning and I'm going, oh, what's the lie here? I'm just buying a lie of something. So I don't know what you think about that, Salome.
Yes, and also trying to using also time in our lives trying to convince ourselves about something and trying to convince other people about something too. Just the convincing part of it. Every time we have conversations about convincing, when you don't have the answer that you want to hear, or you're
Mm,
not hearing something
mm.
you want to hear from that person, or you're even yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that
It,
reminds me of going back to receiving everything and judging nothing.
mm-hmm.
So if somebody else says something, can you receive what they're saying
Yeah.
and not judge it? Because when we want to get them to agree with us, that is us judging what they're saying. And now we're trying to get them to align with what we think and believe.
Mm-hmm.
And true consciousness can receive it all and judge nothing and go, cool. You think the sky is rainbow? Cool. Or you think the sky is, I mean, whatever color you think it is, and just go, okay, cool.
Yeah, and again, and if you want to have a conversation about it, to exchange uh, a conversation about the reason why you think that is, then be the invitation rather than forcing a conversation as well.
Yeah, a cool way for that would be to ask questions.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I love sitting down with people that have completely different or other points of views. And I'm just like, yeah, tell me about that. I mean, it's not sarcastic. I'm really genuinely curious.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay. And oh, what about that? Like even on Easter, heard about a million different just wait. I'm like, oh, cool. And everybody's laughing at me, going, Joanna, do you want us to pull you away from so and so? I'm like, no, it's fine. Like they're trying to save me, so to speak, from that conversation. I'm going, oh yeah, just listening to whatever they have to say. It's like I don't have to align and agree with what they're saying. I'm just going, okay, cool. I think it's interesting. I just think it's all interesting.
Yeah.
But before, I would want to fight and defend and the becauses and the whys before. And like, no, this is honorable. This is what a good female does. This is what a good, strong boss babe does. And like what you have to be.
Yeah. A human, let's just say. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then even going back, it might not even be that for many people. That might not even be a good, strong human to do that.
Mm,
You know.
that right there, that's a point of view and a judgment. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
That's such a strong point of view. Go ahead.
let's have that freedom to just listen and be the invitation, going back to that, and not forcing. Ugh, ugh, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how I want you to see me. Ugh,
Mm,
ugh, ugh.
mm. Yeah. I've been really interested, Salome. Lately, I've been on other people's podcast and talking about receiving. And I'm aware that they're not getting the word receive the way I'm getting the word receive. You know what I'm saying? So again,
Mhm.
that's another spin. And I'm on the show and I'm like, oh, they're not getting it. I'm like, Joanna, what's the lie here? The lie is that they're not getting it the way I see it.
They're not receiving it.
Yeah,
So
they're not receiving it. And I'm like, oh, that's it. Right? Because the
yeah,
lie could be that they're nodding their head, but
right,
really they're going no. So I'm like,
right.
that could be the lie, right? And
Mhm.
again, the word lie, we think lie is in like telling a fib or no, a lie could just mean that we don't even know what's not going on. That
Right.
that's the lie.
Mhm.
That we can't even see what we can't even see.
Mhm.
And so it's like a different energy for the word lie. But
Yeah.
so anyway, so I was talking about receiving. Can I receive it all? Like right now, I'm writing my book, and I'm talking about receiving all of it. And with my ghostwriter right now, and I'm like, I wonder if she gets what I'm saying,
Mhm.
receiving, because we think most of us think receiving means take it and lie down and just, okay, I receive it. No, receive means it moves through you. That's true receiving in consciousness. But we think receive means it sticks to us and we're hit down and now we're out because we had to take it. And I'm like, no, no, actually receiving is like so much more magical and beautiful and power, like so much potency in receiving and go, phew,
Mhm.
yeah. Uh-huh. How fun to watch this movie tonight. Anything else, Salome, on this topic that you want to add before we put a beautiful bow on this?
At the end of the day, you don't, and let's just say the bow, don't have to put a bow over your day,
Oh,
over
yeah.
your choices either. Can always change them.
Yeah, right? You could wrap it up and then you could unwrap the gift and wrap it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. You can wrap the bow 48 million times if you want to. Yeah, yes. We can always, no, we always have another choice. Always, always.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Mhm. You are everything. You are this and you're that. You're this and you're that. And you could be it all at once or every 10 seconds or every day or every 48 hours or it's your choice, whatever. Ah, fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and listening here on the Get Up Girl podcast, or if you're tuning into our videos. And if you're listening to the podcast, little reminder you can watch the videos, all the chats that I do, all the interviews on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and where, oh, LinkedIn. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. All the places. And would love to see you in person. Salome and I would love for you to come and play with us. I am facilitating a workshop called Unstuck Your Money. You're feeling like with money that there's so much more possibilities when it comes to your financial reality. And you're going, I know this is not it. I know there's more. Yet I've read this book and I've taken this class and I'm still stuck. This is the perfect workshop for you. I know it's going to like open up and crack open you so that you can see cracks that you didn't even were aware, didn't even know that they were there before.
And
And
going,
Salome just took the Unstuck Your Business workshop. What were you
yeah,
going to say?
I'd like to add on to that invitation, Joanna, that I know you said unstuck your money, your business. It don't I would like for people to be a little bit more open-minded as to that it's not that certain word. If it's unstuck your business, unstuck your money, it's more than that. Definitely more.
I know. I wish the title can be 87 words because it would really be, right?
Mhm.
Because money is just like so much. But yeah, thanks Salome for adding that in. But to keep it simple, we're gonna call it money. But
Yeah,
it's so much more. If you don't even care about money, but something else, show up to the class
there
because
you go. There you go.
the invitation. You're like, I'm here for something else, and anyway. We can talk about it forever. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate and adore every single one of you. And remember to get back up and expand out energetically. You always have a choice. Remember that you are all of it and you are everything, everywhere, all the time. And we'll see you next time. And if you're interested in the workshop, I didn't even say that, Salome. I'm like, just show up. It is Sunday, June 5th, and it's in the LA area. And it's not virtual, it is in person. So if you're in the LA area on June 5th, DM me on Instagram at Joanna Vargas Official and would love for you to come and play with two chicks, but there'll be no mic. I like that. Two chicks, no mic. See you then. Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.